Hey guys, so I was sick last week, a little bit under the weather. Um, I'm okay now, thanks for asking. While I was sick, I did, I guess, what everybody does, is I watched billions and billions of pool videos, and also wrote a little program so as I watched the videos, I could easily input what the player did as far as where they hit the cue ball. Everybody does that, right, when they're sick. So anyway, that's what I did, and I now officially hate watching pool videos, but I have a feeling that that'll come back and I'll start liking it again. I want to talk about the results of what I did, the experiment that I did. I wanted to find out where our players, especially good players, those are the ones in the videos, where are they hitting the ball? Just out of curiosity. And I knew I couldn't just do my own watch footage of myself playing because I'm not your average player in that I use a lot more like bottom inside than a lot of people do. I was pretty sure of that, and my results showed that I'm not in the average as far as that particular place goes, hitting the cue ball. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go down through the 9 places to hit the cue ball. Obviously, there are an infinite number of places you can hit the cue ball, but the 9 in general. And for purposes of this, I watched mostly footage of 9 ball and 10 ball, figuring those are the most common games. I did have a lot of one pocket in there and some bank full in there as well. Probably skewed my results a little bit because there are a lot of shots that you do in one pocket, for example, to get shape or get a safe bit you might not be doing in 9 ball. There's a lot more vertical axis stuff in bank pool. Or with something like 9 ball, maybe you're going to stray from vertical axis a little bit more often. But for the most part, 9 ball, 10 ball, the footage that I had, I watched it, and I also did not note what they were doing with where they hit the cue ball, and I'll talk about that. So, coming to the very top, the worst place, the least common place that I saw people hit the cue ball, and it surprised me, but then I thought about it more. The worst, coming in only 4% of the time, was dead center on the cue ball. And I got thinking, well, that's lower than I was expecting. I mean, after all, the experts say pros never use English, which kind of by definition would seem to indicate that pros only hit center ball. I think everybody watching this video, probably everybody that's ever been born, knows that's just not true. Pros use English all the time when it's needed. And I got thinking, there's really not that many times where you need to hit center ball or want to hit center ball. One might be, I don't know why I threw all these balls out on the table, I guess just to prove that I'm still upright after my COVID battle, is you can hit center ball when you're up close to the ball and do a stop shot. Okay, yeah, there's a legitimate reason you can do that. I don't think most people do. I could hit that harder. I could also hit it at the same speed, but lower, like bottom English. I got the same results. There's not a lot of center ball that happens. Sometimes stun shots. If I want to shoot something, bad examples, and I'm already straying into example territory. If I want to shoot something and just get over for shape on the floor, I could just shoot this center ball and drift over like that. Not nearly as common as I thought. I think the problem with center ball is a couple. One is you could screw up. and you can screw up in any direction. I talked about this in one of my videos, actually probably two of my videos, is if you're trying to hit center, you could screw up. You could hit it someplace else. And it's kind of random where you're going to hit it. You don't, are you going to screw up and hit top right or top left or bottom right or left or right? It can make it just a little bit too random. So most of the top players that I watched, when they had a situation where center ball might have worked for them, they made up their mind and picked something. They picked bottom outside, for example. Or they picked top, for example. Like I could hit the center ball and give it a natural roll, or I could have just hit top. You know, a little bit of top, not super follow or whatever. So I think that's probably why it's just not that common of a place to hit the cue ball. And number 8, coming in at what 5%, was just straight outside English. Just straight outside English. Shoot this 5, cutting to my left, hitting your cue ball at 3 o'clock. And I'm not 100% sure why. You know, something had to be at number 8. And I think most of the time when someone's going to shoot a shot like that, to do what I just did, they're probably going to go bottom outside, a little bit of bottom outside, instead of just straight outside. Now, I know that's what I would be doing. And I definitely saw a lot more bottom outside. I would be hitting it like about 5 o'clock instead of 3 o'clock. Yeah, it makes a little bit of sense. So next, I'm looking at my board here. I have all this written down, not memorized. So this is me, number 7. 6% of the shots were just straight inside English. Just like I talked about outside English being at 3 o'clock. On that shot, on the cut to my left, inside English would be, I'm going to cut the 6 to my left, and I'm going to hit the cue ball at 9 o'clock. Hit it at 9 to try to spin up there and make sure that I hit the. I'm going to miss the shot. That might be one of the reasons, because it's not very common, so I'm certainly not very good at it. But kind of again, I'm probably going to pick something besides just inside English. I'm going to go high inside or low inside, not just straight inside. I think that's what I was seeing from the players that I watched as well. Is that's what they're doing. So what was that? Number 7. Okay, so number 6. This is one I shoot a lot, but the top players don't. Only 9% at the time will, one of the top players in the videos I watched at least, shoot a shot like this with bottom inside. So 5 o'clock to cut the ball to my right. I use it because I talked about it in a recent video. Because of like the running English thing, it might give you like a 0.01% improvement or something like that. I use it more than the people I was watching. It absolutely for sure. It's only number 6 of all the shots that I saw. Yeah. Sometimes watching these videos, the camera angle would show me, where they're hitting the ball, and sometimes I just kind of had to just infer it from what happened to the balls after they shot. So I could have guessed wrong on some of those. I'm not entirely sure if I did or not, but I could have. So that was number 6. Number 5, now we're at the end of the top 5. And I might have to set up a different example because this was going to be a stretch. So number 5 is top outside. I'm going to cut to 7 to my right. I'm going to hit this with top outside till like 10 o'clock. This is a pretty lousy example for what top outside should be, but to do something like that comes up a lot, and it's a little bit kind of one of those little shots that you're not doing it to help you make the ball, you're doing it for shape, and you get a lot of little angles and stuff where your outside would do you any good. So you want to roll the ball, but you want it to spin when it hits the rail. So top outside works on stuff like that. Coming in number 4. Oh, top outside was 9%. It was tied with bottom inside in the videos I watched. So I forgot to say that. Coming in number 4, 16%. We're in the double digits now. It's just straight top. Straight top. And that could be anything from just rolling the ball, getting natural roll on the ball, to some type of a forced fall or whatever. That's going to have to be another video. I'm going to have to watch videos again and go through what are they doing with top. I think in most cases it's probably just a rolling ball. They're just trying to just roll the ball. And I think that's a little bit more predictable than like even center would be. If you start a ball rolling, it's rolling. If you start a ball with center, it's sliding, and then it's going to roll at some point on the way down there. So a rolling ball shot is just one of the most basic shots that there is, and that's why it comes in number 4 with 16%. The second one kind of surprised me a little bit, and I think it may have been because I watched a lot of one pocket, because it really seems like a shape kind of a thing. It's top inside. 18% of the shots that I saw were top inside. And that would be you all didn't see that. I want to shoot the 1 and get shape on the 2 for that pocket for whatever reason. I'm going to try that, see if that'll work. But this is the kind of shot where I would use top inside to come down for it like that, and maybe even get shape. Kind of ish. Another one that comes up a lot. I don't know, it might be something like this. Something you just top inside. You don't want to just hit it flat ball because you might scratch. You don't want to try to draw. It's harder to control that way. So you just hit top inside, hit this rail, and come out like that. I don't think the 6 is in my way. In this about 10 o'clock. And just like that. It's pretty common. It was a little bit more common than I had expected. Again, until I thought about it. Until I thought about the kind of shots where people are doing that. So now we're down to the final 2, and if you all have been keeping track, you probably know exactly what they're going to be. The number 2 type of shot that I saw in the videos I watch with 20% of the shots was bottom outside. Shoot this 5 at about 5 o'clock, 4:30, 5 o'clock. Kind of a stomp shot, kind of a stun shot, a little bit more predictable and controllable than a stop or a stun would have been. And a very, very common, people, I think maybe just subconsciously just play shape and end up with angles where, I want to cut the 6 in this time. I don't want to have to worry about scratching in the side, like with a stun. I don't want to have to worry about getting close to the 9, like with any kind of a rolling ball hit. So I just, a little bit of bottom left in this case. A little bit of bottom left, just to make sure that I don't go in the side pocket. I'm not drawing it so much that I have to worry about this. Just a little shot. It's a very common shot amongst most players. I cheated the hell out of that pocket, didn't I? So there's one left. And this actually surprised me a little bit too. I thought bottom outside was going to be the number one. But the number one of the shots that I saw was just straight bottom. Just straight bottom. If a player has a shot like this, it's a slight cut, he's going to hit it at 6 o'clock. If they end up dead straight in, 1,000,000% straight, it's just going to be 6 o'clock. And when I say bottom, I don't mean draw necessarily. Although, draw does happen. It just wasn't part of this study. The most common thing that I saw was just bottom. Vertical axis below center. Vertical axis, you don't get any short. I can absolutely see why that would appeal to some people. To shoot this 5 with just straight bottom and come, wrap around this corner, or shoot it with bottom right and wrap around the corner, it's going to be a little bit higher percentage with just straight bottom on a shot like this. Probably would have made it with bottom right, but maybe one extra time out of 10 million, I would have better success with just straight bottom on a shot like that. And by far the most common shot that I saw. So those are my 9 places that I saw the top players hitting the cue ball. I did not watch videos of myself because I knew that I would skew the results because I'm not a normal person, not a normal player. What I would have done, and I wrote that down after I did watch some of my own videos, I would have had bottom inside at number 3 on my list. Right after bottom and bottom outside, the very next thing would have been bottom inside at 19%. And of course the other ones would have moved down in the list or up in the list, whatever. They would have gotten worse in the list because I use a lot of bottom inside. It's just a habit I've gotten into over the last 40 years, and I'm probably not going to ever break that habit. I like the thought of having some helping English put the ball in for me, or help the ball go in for me. So that's this video. Y'all, well, I guess that's it. Can't think of anything else to say. I've already yammered on for a million years. And I don't know if this is interesting. I do need to go through and watch some videos or all the videos again and see what are they doing, because it was interesting to me. Are they putting draw on the ball, or are they always just doing that little stun thing when they hit bottom outside? What are they doing? Are they hitting shots harder, softer, whatever? I need to put that kind of stuff, take it into account, and not to say. I'm not saying because the top 2 are bottom and bottom outside that's all you should shoot. Make sure that 20% of your shots are bottom outside. Make sure 23% of your shots are straight bottom. Make sure no more than 4% are center ball. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying this is what the guys are doing that I was watching. And it'd be the same thing for the type of stroke they're putting on the ball, how hard they're hitting the ball. Do the same kind of thing. It's what they are doing. What you are doing, your mileage will probably vary. I know that my mileage does vary, like with the bottom inside stuff. But I did find it interesting, and maybe some of you guys will too. Thank you.